How's it going? It's been a long week. I know that I haven't been on here in quite some time. Insane amount of work over the last couple of weeks. Partially because the majority of the shows that I watch are not on right now. Like Survivor finished, The Challenge is finished. Um, there's a few other things that I'm watching, but I'm not covering. But the shows that I mainly have been covering are just not on right now. So there's that. I know the Big Brother season is upcoming, and the Big Brother season is an animal. Big Brother is an animal, it's a machine. So I know that in a way, I feel like I'm trying to get as much break and peace as I can right now before it gets into that hectic part of my year. But, anyways, a few different things. Big Brother Canada has been canceled. I was surprised that it actually made it to a season 12. Not because I didn't like Big Brother Canada, but because when they stopped having the live feeds, that's when I was like, what's the point of even having Big Brother without the live feeds? Because when I first started, my mom has been a Big Brother fan, I think possibly since day one. Hi, Cass. I think she's been a Big Brother fan since day one. And I used to see it, I used to see her watching it. I even tried watching it a few times over the years, and I was like, this is not my speed. I like action. So that's the reason why I like the show, like The Challenge, over a Big Brother. Because I'm like, this show does involve some politics, some strategy, but then there's some good old athletic parts that I can enjoy. Who's the best? Who has the most physical endurance? Who's the strongest? Those kind of things. But on Big Brother, I was like, okay, it's all politics. They're not really doing anything except sitting around and talking and playing these corny games. But that was based on me just seeing the produced version. So I saw the first season that I actually saw a full season beginning to end live, was the Cookout season. Hi, Lisa. The Cookout season, season 23. And I liked that season just because of the concept and how it ended up and everything, but I only saw very little of the live feed, so I also was not like super invested in the show like that. Season 24, for anyone who is following me on the other page, is the first page that I started watching live feeds at the beginning. And when I started seeing the live feeds, I was like, oh, this is much different than anything that I watch, because we get to see them 24 hours. And I'm like, oh, that's why it's called Big Brother. I mean, I knew I was called Big Brother in concept, but if you don't watch live feeds, you're seeing like 3 hours of footage per week, 3 hours of edited footage per week, which, quite frankly, they can edit things however they want and make things look a certain way. So it's like a whole different show that you're seeing with the feeds and without the feeds. I gave feeds, they said, oh, we're going to do these digital dailies. And I was like, okay, what's digital dailies? They're like, oh, there's going to be so much content here that you are not even going to miss the feeds. And I'm thinking, I doubt that, because for me, the feeds are the best part of the show and why I got invested into the show. So I gave them a chance. I was watching the feeds. They would have these 2 hour blocks where they would just show randomness. It would just jump from some people are doing yoga in the living room, and somebody's cooking breakfast. And then somebody is having a game talk at the pool table, and it just cuts in the middle of the game talk to somebody doing jumping jacks in the kitchen. And then it cuts from that to somebody laying in bed sleeping. So I was like, this is not equal to having live feeds. And then it felt like so much context was missing for me. And the same thing I can say of season 12, even though I did find season 12 of Big Brother Canada to be very entertaining. I also was just like, there's so much that I'm missing. There's so much in between content that I'm missing. So I already said, like, if Big Brother Canada continues this trend of going without live feeds, they're not going to last for very long. And people have rumored to get there eventually. I feel like if BBUS ever decided to cut their live feeds, I think that they would also lose the viewership, and they would probably also lose the sponsorship, and there would be no more BBUS either. BBUS is not immune to that. The feeds make the show. Even though I do know a lot of people who watch without feeds, like my mom, she still does not watch feeds. I still remember when I started watching the BB24 live feeds, and she saw me watching it one time, and she was like, "Is that Taylor? Is that this person?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, what is this? Is the episode on?" I was like, "No, these are the live feeds." And she was like, "Isn't 3 hours of show enough?" And I was laughing to myself, because I'm thinking, I wouldn't even be interested in watching the regular show if I wasn't watching the feeds. So everybody is different. But yeah, that was it about BB Can. They sent a message, or they posted a message saying they're done. Arissa posted this thank you video. And man, I've watched back maybe, what? I've seen like 4 seasons of BB Can now. I want to see some of the rest, because it looks like they've had some classic moments, but it was no bueno taking away the live feeds, and I figured that it would end up with them being shut down. With that being said, I hope everybody has a great weekend. The next thing that I'm probably going to do at some point is like a season preview for the challenge. But actually, Big Brother starts before the challenge. The challenge is August 14, and Big Brother it cut. So yeah, I'll probably still end up doing the season preview for season 10 Love.